This is Snowface Bigfoot, and today we're going to look at my collection that I found at my house down in Richmond while I was cleaning it out before it goes on the market for sale. And we got plenty of games to go over today. And I'm just going to tell y'all don't know jack about what I used to own. Well, that's the first game that we had. The party game, kind of like Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Just all kinds of crazy questions, and it says the irrelevant quiz show party, and it was. You get a bunch of, especially like young adults or college kids, frat boys. This game is just absolutely insane. And on the inside, you actually came with 2 discs. So I don't want to get this dirty, but check this out right here. You don't know jack. There we go. That's right, folks. All right, here we go. Next up, Triple Play 99, EA Sports. This is when EA Sports was actually pretty good. And again, not much to really say about the game. It was kind of fun. And if your team was losing, you could actually hear kids in the crowd say, "You suck." Kind of funny. And then, of course, the follow-up, Triple Play 2000. And again, have great memories of these games, but they're nothing compared to the ones of the day. So, nothing like my Jackie Robinson MLB, 21. All right, next up, one of the best racing games and one of the best companies for making racing games, Codemasters Toka Championship Racing. What the heck is Toka? Well, it's basically racing over in the United Kingdom. So the only thing I didn't like about the game was you could not practice. You had to win the race or place high enough to go to the next race and be able to practice on it. So it got to a point where just you couldn't do anything. The multiplayer was fine, but again, it was nothing like Need for Speed or any racing game like Gran Turismo for multiplayer. All right, next up, keeping the theme of sports, FIFA 99. Again, wasted many of Friday nights playing this, and again, it's still it was actually pretty good back then. FIFA series was, of course, now it's called EA Esports or something like that, or whatever they call it now, because they dropped the FIFA license or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. It's just like I don't do too much EA anymore. Anyway, next up, one of the best puzzle games, and a game I never really got mad at, Double Dice. And you're a little double. And this is my little icon or avatar on my PlayStation account. So this is where it comes from. And what you have to do is you have to get 2 2s together, 3 3s, 4 4s, 5 5s, 6 6, and you roll the dice around. So it's just like regular dice. And I forgot what the ones do. They do something. But and then there's a puzzle mode. After you beat all the puzzles, there's like 1,000 of them or something that you can play and beat. But this is one of the best puzzle games on PlayStation. It's a great arcade game. If it actually had been an arcade game. Next up, Metal Gear VR missions. So again, virtual reality missions. These are not the real thing. You're in virtual reality. And again, it's more missions than an actual game. Okay. Next up, a series of pinball games that came out around 99, 2000. So this is when the PlayStation 2 started coming out, I think. 2001 is when it came out. And this is 98, I think. Yeah, 98. So this was a series of games. You could set it up as easy or as hard as you wanted. And some really good tables, advanced tables for this time. In fact, almost as advanced as some of the games that are out now. And it allowed you to do what somebody owned a pinball machine, or if you own an arcade, or if you had it for on-site, coin-op gaming. You could change the extra balls, how many you played, how tilted the table was, the steepness of it. So, and again, another one's Fantastic Journey. Again, another excellent pinball machine by the same company, I think. Yeah, Empire. So they put out a series of these. Next up, I'd like to thank Jack Epstein. Probably never watched these videos because I haven't heard from him in 25 years, but we used to work for Pro Wrestling online newsletter. And I bought a bunch of games from him back in 98, I think. Resident Evil's one of them, and for a good price. I mean, this is when they had tank controls. So it's not like they're, this is when I started playing games like 97, 98. Next up, Q*bert, reimagining of the original. So one of my favorite games of all time. And the story behind this, the original title of the game was a bunch of symbols for cussing. And of course, if you can't pronounce it, who's going to play it, right? So his name is Q*bert, and had him cuss it in the game when he dies. So there you go. Next up, one of the greatest shmup franchises of all time, R-Types. I think this had multiple games on it. So yeah, I did. It had R-Type 1, R-Type 2. And I enjoyed this way more than some of the other ones. I like this and Gradius the most. So, and of course Darius was always my favorite, just because of the 3 big screens and all that other stuff, which I actually own on digitally on PlayStation. Of course, not 3 screens, but it seems like 3 screens. All right, next up, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2000. I did like my golf games back then, but it was okay, but it did not have the traditional 3 swings on there, 3 button click swings, so that didn't get much playing time. It's a good game though. Next up, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. My best friend Nimbo hooked me up with this, and it's 2 castles in one. And this is kind of when the Metroidvania started coming out. It also is RPG-like because you gain levels on it. So it's a very good game. Just incredible. Challenging game, but not too hard. Not like Dark Souls hard or like NES type hard. But it's still one of my... I own this in my Konami collection for Castlevania. Alright, next up. Crash Bandicoot Warped. Very difficult series, but one of the best mascot platformers on the PlayStation. And the game could be very unfair at times. This is what it looks like on the back. So, and I could say I did not buy the update to it, and I should do it. All right, next up. Do do do. Dun, 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 dun. The game that probably started it all, Gran Turismo, and on the PlayStation, for its time, the greatest racing game. Well, not counting Gran Turismo 2. This came with a very thick manual. You also have this. Now, I don't think I have the game in here, do I? Yes, I do. There is an arcade disc, and then there's a simulation disc, which was the main game. So, as you can tell, this is falling apart. But, oh well. I can't worry about that. This game is just... And this came with a guide with it, so very few games actually came with the guide, but this was so complicated in simulation when it came out that they needed it. So, and again, this game, it's just insane for its time what it had in it. All the tuning and and the actual intro to the game is just crazy, and it shows you all the stuff that the game can do, and it just doesn't do justice to describe it. Next up, 4 times as many cars, Gran Turismo 2, and you think this again, just some of the greatest racing of all time. I can't describe how great the game was. Now, of course, this series is not as good as it used to be. 7 is really good, but it's just not what I like. Alright, sticking with the racing games, F1 98, very good, simulated, and very tough, but you could also make it easy and hard as you want it. So, and I really enjoyed this game when I used to play it. I used to play it all the time, and it's completely different from Gran Turismo. Now, also, Psygnosis produced Colony Wars, which was another great game. So, if you ever get a chance, you ought to check that out. Okay. Oh, and plus, now my favorite color, because it's the color of the Newtown Eagles. Next time somebody talks about Essex, I'm going to slap the boop out of them. Alright, last of the sports games. Fox Sports Golfing 99. The simulation aspect was excellent, but you always got paired up with someone who would shoot lights out. Your partner would always get like a 57, 58. They would birdie and eagle every hole. So not a fun game. So if you was always looking to win the game, guess what? You had to cheat and reload, and it took a minute to reload every time. Oh, a plus. This had Carnoustie, one of the best British Open, and probably my favorite of the courses. Anyway, and if you like, and Carnoustie is kind of like the Dark Souls of golf courses. So, next up, oh, this was supposed to be my Dreamcast collection, but it's not. Atari Anniversary Collection, 12 games. Not really much to say about it. Azturds Deluxe Battlezone, Centipede, Crystal Castles, Gravatar, Millipede, Missile Command, Pong, Super Breakout, Tempest, and Warlords. Ooh, one of the greatest 4-player games of all time. Probably one of the best of the early 80s, of the early days. So, yeah, that's my Dreamcast collection part, but that's okay. I enjoyed it. And finally, one of the craziest games to come out. You had RPG Maker, and we had Fighter Maker. You could design your own moves in the game, your own characters. It was kind of like Tekken. Look on the back of it. Sure, there's some trademark infringement going on here. So, and in this, they actually do give you a thick manual for this, tutorials, because it took a lot. Now, for the RPG Maker, was it Electronic Games Magazine or Game Informer had a contest for it, which is insane. Or maybe it was PlayStation Magazine. I can't remember. But they actually had a contest to come up with the best one. So you got all this kind of crazy stuff, edit mode, how you do your moves. You can edit the frames. And if you play fighting games, counting frames was a big thing. Faking moves and going into it, all that kind of stuff. Combos, just all kinds of crazy stuff. This even has tutorials in it. Look at this. Fine-tuning movements. So, again, this was, I had a lot. I spent hundreds of hours on this game, and look, the disc is still there. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? Let me hold this up real quick again. Ah, yeah. All right. So that's my collection right there. So, again, I owned over 150 PlayStation games, at different points of time. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, remember to do the Holy Trinity. If you say, oh, we got to spread more viewers, right? Well, first, y'all need to hit that like button. You need to share the videos. And you need to hit the subscribe button. And if you're looking for a grand slam, hit the notification button so that next time, say, when is the next video? When you're adding new content? Dude, I just added some last night. Duh. Did you not check your notifications? Oh, you didn't have notifications on. Duh. Hey, I'm just joking. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, check this out. One more time, I'm going to let y'all see this beautiful view right here. Woo, check it out. Yeah, I'm recording this after my Dreamcast video. Oh, man, is this awesome. Oh, you don't want to see the porch here. It looks horrible. It's going to get fixed when I'm out of town. Anyway, hit that subscribe button. Smack that like button. Hit the notification button. Hit the share button. Share the whole world. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.